The NBA is finally back! Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Thursday, February 23rd slate of NBA action. God, it feels good to say that again. I'm super excited to dive into it, but before we did, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 12,000 subscribers. If you guys are new, make sure that you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do, and thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me, so much more than you guys will ever know. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. We didn't necessarily finish off the last part of the All-Star break in the greatest fashion. There is not anything to really recap because we haven't had any videos for the last couple days for the NBA, and it's been fun to cover some college stuff. But man, it's been great, and I'm so excited to dive back into the NBA. I missed the NBA, that is for sure. Even though we didn't finish off great before the All-Star break, we're diving into it right now, and we're going to lock in for the rest of the season, and hopefully we can see nothing but profit. So before we dive into our plays, I did just want to go ahead and say I am still going to be capping some college basketball. The college basketball is going to just be in the pinned comment section down below. So every time, whenever you do click on the video, if you guys are interested in the college basketball picks that I do have, they will be down in the pinned comment section. So I'm not getting rid of it. I'm just going to probably limit some of the plays that I end up doing, but they will be in the pinned comment section for sure. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's plays. We do have 3 plays as of right now, and then we do have our consensus play, and I may end up adding some since it is going to be the first day back of the NBA. So I'm looking heavily into some more plays as well. So without any further ado, our first official play of the day, our Kings kill shot play of the day. Yes, we're bringing it back. We're going with Domantas Sabonis, over 33.5 points plus rebounds here versus Portland at minus 110 odds. Now, I like this for a multitude of different reasons, but he has gone over in 2 straight games prior to the All-Star break. So he finished off the All-Star break on a good note. I think he picks right back up once again, and they were against pretty good teams as well. Now, for Portland, Portland has really struggled, especially since Jusuf Nurkic has been out of the rotation, and it does look like he is going to be out of this one as well. And without Nurkic being in the lineup, if you take a look at some of the centers that have played against this Portland team, let's look at Kristaps Porzingis. He had 40 points plus rebounds. Let's look at Anthony Davis, 39 points plus rebounds. Let's look at Brook Lopez, 36 points plus rebounds, and that was just 3 centers out of the last 5 games. The other one, I know that the Thunder did end up playing them, but they don't really have like a true center, so it's kind of hard to get stats for something like that. But Domantas Sabonis is a very good center, and he can do a lot of things on the offensive side, and he can rebound the ball really well. So I really like the spot here for him. Also, Portland is 23rd in points in the paint this season, and that number actually does go up by 4.7 points per game in the last 3 games, just showing how big of an impact Jusuf Nurkic has been off of the floor. And overall, I just love the spot here for Sabonis. I think that he is going to get a lot of touches, and a lot of these players are going to be coming off of a multitude of days of rest. They are going to see a ton of time off. Who knows exactly if their shots are going to be warmed up, to say the least, if they're going to be ready for game time. We could see a lot of misses in those games and have a big night here from Sabonis. So I love this play here for our first official play of the day, our Kings kill shot play of the day. Domantas Sabonis over 33.5 points plus rebounds here versus Portland at minus 110 odds. Now, for our second official play of the day, we're going to be taking Josh Giddey over 30.5 PRAs here versus Utah at minus 125 odds. Now, he has gone over in 5 out of his last 8 games, and one of those losses that he did end up having was right on the hook, right with 30 PRAs. So I do think that he has been finishing around this number here at a very frequent rate. Not to mention, he did have 34 PRAs in his last game here versus the Utah Jazz. And the Jazz, we all know that they aren't necessarily the greatest defensive team in general, but they traded away their best defensive piece in Vanderbilt. So with Vanderbilt not being on the roster anymore, I think that does give even more of a boost to a guy like Josh Giddey, who can kind of do a little bit of everything. In the last 7 games, Utah, they've allowed the 5th most points per game, the most rebounds per game, and the 3rd most assists per game to the opposing shooting guard position. So in those last 7 games, they've truly seen the effect of not having Vanderbilt out there on the floor. The Utah Jazz are starting to go back in full rebuild, I think. I can't guarantee that, but it kind of seems like they're trending in that direction. So I think that a guy like Josh Giddey should be able to shine in this situation, and I really like the spot here. Utah is 24th in points allowed over the course of the entire season as well. So they are one of the worst defenses in basketball. So I think this is a spot that Josh Giddey ends up seeing close to like a 20-point, and even like a 6 and 7 type of game. So I really like the spot here for Josh Giddey. So we're going to be riding with it here for our second official play of the day. Josh Giddey over 30.5 PRAs here versus Utah at minus 125 odds. Now for our third and final play of the day, we are going to be taking the Raptors minus 5.5 spread here versus the Pelicans at minus 110 odds. Now if you take a look at it, the Raptors are a pretty decent home team. They're kind of right in that middle too. They're 17 and 14 against the spread at home this year. But the Pelicans really have struggled on the road. They're 11, 17, and 1 on the road this year against the spread. So I think that this is a spot that you do want to take this Raptors team. The Raptors team has changed a little bit since the beginning of the season. They did obviously add in Jakob Poeltl, who has been a very good transition to them, and I think that this team matches up extremely well for the New Orleans Pelicans. Of course, a better option for the offensive side of things on New Orleans is Jonas Valanciunas, so Jakob Poeltl is going to be able to help out with something like that, but not to mention guys like Brandon Ingram. They're going to have guys like Scotty Barnes on them, so it does kind of leave a good spot for CJ. So if you wanted a player prop for this one, I would lean more towards CJ's props more than anybody else's. But regardless, the Raptors have also won 5 out of their last 6 games. They've been a pretty solid team here going into the All-Star break. I think that they come out with that same fire, that same passion. They are kind of not exactly where you want to be when it comes to standings as well. This could be a game where they try to get right and try to push towards some of those top rankings. So I really do like this spot here. Last game versus New Orleans, the Raptors ended up getting smoked, so this could be a very good bounce back spot as well. Toronto is also 11th in points allowed, so they're just outside that top 10 when it comes to defensively points allowed. That number drops by 2.7 at home. So they are a better defense at home for sure. So I do think this is a spot that you do want to take the home team in this one. And the Pelicans allow 6.7 more points per game on the road. So I just don't love the spot here for New Orleans. They're going to have a tough time going to Toronto, playing against this Raptors team. It's a new look Raptors team, but they've looked really good since they've got in. So I really do like the spot here for the Raptors. So we're going to be riding with it. Raptors minus 5.5 versus the Pelicans at minus 110 odds. Now, for our consensus play of the day, we are going to be going to the Nuggets and the Cavaliers game. The Nuggets are going to be traveling to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers. Currently, the Cavaliers are 2.5-point favorites, but on the injury report for the Nuggets, it does look like Aaron Gordon is listed as out as of right now, and Jamal Murray is listed as questionable. Personally, and it looks like everybody else too, all 5 of us, we are on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Minus that 2.5. I think this is a very doable number. I like the Cavs, especially when they're at home. The Cavs at home have been a very good team, and I think this is a spot that you do want to take the home team once again. And with Aaron Gordon out, I know that he's not necessarily as big of an impact as a guy like Jokic, but looking at Jamal Murray listed as questionable as well, that just doesn't really sit right with me. We don't even know if he's going to be in this game. I'm going to take my odds early. Even if he does end up playing, I really don't mind it. So that is the consensus play of the day. 5 cappers, 2-0 on the Cleveland Cavaliers minus 2.5. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, if you guys are interested in college basketball whatsoever, I will be capping that down in the pinned comment section as well. If I end up adding any plays, those will be down in the pinned comment section as well. So I did enjoy this little all-star break, but man, I'm so excited to be back. I missed the NBA, and we are going to be diving straight into it. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.